Hello guys and welcome, it is ThatSrb2DUDE here today, bringing you yet another episode of Worth of a Gear Perk, where I show you guys the worth of certain gear perks depending on how many mains you put on them. Today we are going to be going through sub power up and its effects on the mains of, or how many other mains you put on them. So without further ado, let's get straight into this. Okay, to speed things up a little bit, with sub power up, I am only going to be doing tests with no mains of sub power up and 3 mains of sub power up. So as you can see with these examples, these are the results for no mains of sub power up for the sub weapons that are effective with how far you can throw it. These sub weapons include burst bombs, auto bombs, suction bombs, splat bombs, toxic mist, and point sensors. As you can see in the 3 mains of sub power up examples, you'll notice that the sub weapon gets thrown much farther than before. There is no real need for me to actually go real deep in how far you can throw it, because it depends on the arc and the angle and stuff like that. So it's just a further thing where you gotta kind of feel out how much sub power up you need personally to throw it how far you want to. For ink mines, the difference between no mains of sub power up and 3 mains of sub power up is pretty significant. The only thing that really happens is that the radius of the ink mine is much wider than before. This can be very helpful for when you're setting up your defenses. For curling bombs, sub power up is really interesting as well. As you can see with no mains, it doesn't really go too fast and the curling bomb kind of just doesn't even touch the wall. But when putting 3 mains of sub power up, you will notice that the curling bomb travels much faster compared to no mains of sub power up. For sprinklers, the effects of sub power up is also really interesting. When throwing down a sprinkler with no mains of sub power up, you notice that the sprinkler just does its thing and, you know, just paints around. But with more mains of sub power up, you'll notice that the sprinkler paints much faster compared to no mains of sub power up. Now the effects of sub power up for squid beacons are really interesting, and I actually went ahead to do the test for no mains, 1 main, 2 mains, and 3 mains of sub power up. What sub power up does to squid beacons is that it allows anybody who is jumping to that squid beacon to jump much faster than before. From doing a little bit of math, I have concluded that with each sub power up main that you put on, you'll jump to the squid beacon 7.5% faster. As long as the person who is using the beacons has sub power up, everyone on your team can jump this fast. Sub power up's effects for splash walls are as you would expect. Basically, if you put more sub power up on, your splash wall will be more durable. And that will be all for sub power up. Personally, I wouldn't really use it because I don't really have the need to feel like I need to throw my bombs just a little bit further. It's definitely a personal preference thing. Like, some people really do like the effects of sub power up when needing to throw their bombs a little bit further. Some people don't. I'm just one of those people who don't. I definitely feel like if there are more wall weapons that come into the game, I definitely feel like sub power up is going to be used for that, because it's going to make your walls much stronger and such like that. But other than that, I do feel like sub power up has some really interesting effects because of the wall. You know, you throw a wall down, it's much sturdier, and it takes a lot more like, I guess, hits to actually take it down. You have the squid beacons, where if you place one down with someone wearing like a bunch of sub power up, the person who jumps to that squid beacon jumps much faster, including the person with sub power up. And of course for ink mines, which I feel like a majority of you guys you already know, that the radius for the ink mine is much wider, so people who like stand around that ink mine is definitely going to get hit. Especially if they go right into like the center of it. So that's pretty interesting for sub power up. It's a really interesting perk. It doesn't get really used too much in competitive from, I guess, what I've seen personally, but I do feel like it'll be such a cool thing if people actually try to figure it out and find some sort of strategies to actually make it work. So anyways, other than that, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Please like, favorite, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Follow me on Twitter and Twitch, both in the description below. Do it for both if you're feeling generous. And as always, guys, this has been ThatSrb2DUDE, and I shall see you guys in a future video.